You all right?
Here in the Midwest, after hours at the Longhorn, and I'm sitting opposite Jimmy Smith, who has just conquered the keyboard once again, as well as the audience. Jimmy, if I mention Major Bowes to you, what does that
Oh man,
conjure
come
up?
on, Leigh. I knew you were gonna mention Major Bowles. Well, I did that when I was 9 years old. I was on Major Bowles when I was nine. I won it as a kid. About 9 years old, I was playing what they call boogie woogie piano back in them days.
And that was an acoustic piano.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah,
There were no such thing as electrics, except for the Hammond organ.
yeah.
Which brings me to that first electric keyboard. Were you influenced by theater organs, Fats Waller, Count Basie at all?
Well, I listened to Fats when I was younger. Was Fats was the first, I think, and then came Wild Bill Davis. Cause I always listened to my sister, um, Ethel Smith. She's the one put out that Tico Tico.
Yes, I
And
do remember.
I used to listen to her because she had that big hit out, Tico Tico. So I would listen to her. But I couldn't learn anything from her, because she plays a regular, conventional organ, see? So then came along Wild Bill Davis. And then from Wild Bill Davis, I went on my own because I started listening to Charlie Parker, see? And I didn't want to make the organ sound like a keyboard instrument. I want it to sound like a horn.
I seem to hear all kinds of horns in there. Yeah, I was just reviewing with another musician in the background as we were sitting here and listening to you, and I thought to myself, you're a one-man extension of a grand orchestra on a grand scale, 5 reeds, 10 brass,
Oh,
and
yeah.
occasionally I hear trombones,
Uh-huh.
and occasionally I hear saxophones taking off. And then there's the rhythm section, which you're a
Yeah.
definite part of.
Yeah, I understand.
But I was just wondering, sometimes do I hear Bull Moose Jackson as opposed to Charlie Parker once in a while?
Well, in the background, yeah. Down there in that saxophone section. You know what I mean? That's where you hear that down in there. Yeah.
And occasionally Go Floor Show Cully, which, well, spoke for the early days of the blues, and just honking and wailing.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, the art of listening is always a part of the musician's life, and what do you listen for as you play, as you listen to your sidemen and your colleagues like Ray Crawford and
I
Ken
listen for
Dixon?
coloring and shading.
And that seems to be just the living part of
Coloring
your
and shading.
performance.
I paint when I play.
Do you paint actually?
I paint. Period. When I'm playing, I'm painting. I'm like a Picasso, or Matisse. When I'm playing.
I understand.
And I dance when I'm playing.
So really, you're kind of audio-visual all the way.
I sort of vision myself, like especially some of the ballads I play. I envision myself as a ballet dancer, ballet dancer. I mean, male, not female. But I like a female with me too if we're going to ballet. It's always nice to have company. That's
Absolutely.
Right,
Real charm along
Right.
with it. What other elements do you consider key elements of programming?
Programming in what respect now?
Well, you've talked about coloring and dynamics.
Shading. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dynamics is very important.
And then we move to program itself, the musical compositions,
Hmm.
one right after the other. What are some of the key elements there?
Oh, that's well. Actually, that's some musicians you have they're segue freaks, and I'm one of them. I'm a segue freak. No, I like not in the form of okay, Cheetah, get that quote from me. Not in the form of like when they say you're doing a medley. See, a medley is 3, okay? Well, mine is extension medley. You know what I mean?
Yours is
I
the
extend-
giant super medley.
That's the truth. So I more or less stretch out, just segue from one to the other. And it keeps the continuity going, see, in your playing. They don't have to wait, and I don't, like, the other musicians, they talk a lot, they talk too much, really, sometimes. Less talking and more playing.
And that makes your musical world go round.
Yeah, less talking.
When When you think about jazz and it's part of your programming, what what jazz values are so very important to you, as opposed to say rock or blues or classical
No, you
influences or
said
the
it.
church?
You said it. Period. Jazz.
For all the years that you've been playing for audiences
You
around
answered
the
your own
world,
question. You know that.
thank you. Jimmy Smith, for all of the years you've been in music, what would you say has been the professional challenge for you?
That organ right there. That
How,
I'm an organ.
how about the new directions with all of the,
Oh,
well,
the
the capabilities
synthesizers.
of yes,
You
the
know,
synthesizers, the computer.
yeah. Well, I haven't got into it that heavy now. I'm just playing with this little portable job I got, and I'm more or less getting. Keith, don't take my synthesizer. This cat,
He's about to ready to rob you.
he wants to rip me off. But anyway, Leigh, I'm going to get into it heavier.
You're going to battle the computer, the storage and
Yeah,
retrieval
I'm
systems,
going to
and
get right out
the
there with those young kids using those different instruments, and it's a lot of fun though. Yeah, I'm having
Jimmy. We
fun.
wish you well.
All right, Leigh.
Thank
Pleasure.
you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Okay, pleasure.
I've been talking with Jimmy Smith at the Longhorn in Minneapolis, with St. Paul just across the river, after a long week engagement. And my name is Leigh Kamman.
Your name is